Okay, we've got the new 2v8 mode here in Dead by Daylight. I am playing as Wraith, and I was matched up with a very nice Huntress player. Thank you very much for the sub to the channel. So I have some thoughts about this mode, and I don't want to come across as pessimistic, but just realistic. First of all, it is a very fun mode. It's a refreshing change for a game that has been relatively stale for the past 8 years or so. So it was nice they're finally doing something to make the game different, make it more engaging. But the problem is that the queue times for killer are just abysmal. They are just intolerably long. And the problem is that behavior looks only at numbers. That's why they throw out useless statistics all the time, because that's all they really care about. And they're going to look at the numbers for this mode, and they're going to see there's a huge disparity between people queuing up as killer and people queuing up as survivor. And they're also going to see that there's a lot fewer people queuing up for the normal game mode now that this is released. So realistically, I don't see them making this mode permanent, and I don't even see them keeping it longer than they said they would keep it when it was announced. Chaos Shuffle mode, they could have easily kept in the game. It really didn't affect queue times. It had a lot less impact. And they didn't keep that when everyone wanted them to keep it. So I really don't see them making this mode permanent. And as I said, I don't even see them making it longer than they originally intended it to be. Because the queue times are just too long for killer. Because everyone wants to play killer now with their friends. It's something that's never happened in this game before. Killer is a lonely endeavor in this game. And it's nice to actually be able to queue up with someone else and to, quite honestly, measure yourself against them to see how you stack up in relation to other people playing killer in the game. And it's always nice because humans are such competitive creatures by nature, there's always going to be a comparison between how well you do as killer and you'll see how well someone else does as killer. And you'll always make that comparison. And it's nice to be able to do that now. So I can understand the novelty of playing with another player as killer in this game. It's very, very exciting. Survivors, yeah, you have seven other survivors on your team. Doesn't make much of a difference. The gameplay is still the same. You're still teaming up with other people, trying to finish your objectives, the generators. So that really hasn't changed much. But the novelty of this mode is the fact that killer players now can queue with a friend or even just a random person and just measure themselves against other players, and they have some help when dealing with survivors. So I can understand why everyone wants to play as killer in this mode. It's something that really hasn't happened a whole lot in this game's history, except when a new killer is released. So yeah, there's that. And behavior is going to look at that and they're going to say, well, this can't stay the way it is, because no one will want to play our base game, and very few people will want to queue up as survivor. So I really don't see them keeping this mode permanently. I would like it if they did, but I don't think it's going to happen. And I don't even think it's going to be extended. And that goes hand in hand with with what I was going to say next is that of the original 5 killers, the one that I am least bad with, let's say, is the Wraith. And I wish they would add more killers, but I don't see that happening either. I would love it if they added Singularity. I've been having great success with Singularity ever since they introduced the auto-targeting feature. And been playing non-stop Singularity games for the past few weeks. I've gotten really good with him, and I hope they add him, but I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think they're going to add any new killers, quite honestly, because I just don't see this mode being permanent or being extended. No idea why you did that, unless it was lag. Yeah, that looked like lag. So yeah, I've never been really good with any of the original 5 killers. The one I'm the best with is Wraith, but he's incredibly weak, as you can see here in this loop, which is very unfavorable for Wraith. Trapper, I think in this mode, he takes way too long to set up. The game is usually halfway over by the time you can get some traps in some good areas. I have no idea why they just didn't give him all of his traps at base in this game mode. Billy, there's really no point in playing Billy except for map traversal because you can't insta-down survivors with the chainsaw. So Billy's kind of irrelevant. Huntress and Nurse, I am not... My aim is terrible, and with Nurse, it's just I'm not confident and competent with those 2 killers enough to have it to where my teammate would have to rely on me in certain situations. I just would not feel comfortable playing those 2 killers because I'd feel like I'd be laying my teammate down with how inconsistent I can play those killers. I just can't play them well consistently. Not in a consistent manner. So those 2 killers I would definitely not feel comfortable playing as either. So Wraith is it, and you know, Wraith is good. I mean, he doesn't have anti-loop. He's not as strong as Singularity. I think Singularity with his new changes may be one of the top tier killers, even though I do feel they nerfed him a bit. But I find that the auto-targeting has more than made up for it, because I can use his teleport ability almost non-stop now. That and the fact that thankfully EMPs aren't as plentiful as they were, so his power isn't instantly nullified all the time, which is good. Obviously, I would also prefer if they added Wesker, but I don't think that's going to happen either. But, I mean, Wraith is a good killer for speed and map control and catching survivors outpositioned. You definitely want to use him for that. In terms of pure chase, he's not that good. He's just an M1 killer. He has no anti-loop abilities at all. But for the available killers in this mode, he's it for me. So I will definitely be using Wraith a lot. I just wish they had added more killers. Because unfortunately, as I said, I don't see this mode being extended. And I don't see it being made permanent. So I would say enjoy it while you can. It is incredibly fun, and it's nice being able to play with another person on your team when you're playing killer. Something that's never happened in this game before. I didn't think anyone was on that. If I knew she was here, I would have blocked the window. Nice shot. All right. All right, well, this match seems to be pretty much under control now. It was pretty crazy at the start. They've gotten down to 1 gen. If you go against a team that knows what they need to do, it can be quite hectic trying to keep things under control, but it looks like we brought it back. So there are at least 3 hatches that can spawn. And there are 3 exit gates now. So even if you close all 3 hatches, you still have to patrol 3 exits. Oh, and that apparently only 1 person can exit through a hatch now. So if 1 person exits through 1 hatch, that begins it powers the gates. Apparently. Yeah, if it was just me, I would let you go, but I have a teammate, so. All right. Yeah, that was pretty fun. And it's good to get matched up with a good teammate. Well, I wonder if that's if that person is using Huntress for the first time. There's no prestige level. That's interesting. They were pretty good. I mean, they didn't miss. I don't think they really missed a whole lot of shots. It's hard to keep track when you've got your own trying to mind game survivors at certain loops, but yeah, they were pretty good. So yeah, definitely expect more 2v8 videos and definitely some Singularity videos. As I said, I mean, I could go on a win streak with Singularity. I've been doing so well with him, and yeah, I think he's my new main. I've been having more success with him than even Wesker. Wesker is kind of tough. There are a lot of loops you can't get survivors at with the Virulent Bound, and I find Singularity's anti-loop is very good. So that's it. If you like the video, give a thumbs up, subscribe. Definitely checking out more 2v8. Enjoy it while it lasts. And I'll see everyone in the next video.